Hi, my name is Emmylou Espinoza, and I'm from the Bullard area. My parents are Californians that moved to East Texas about 20 years ago. Both my parents are musicians. My dad's the guitarist, my mom's a singer and plays the guitar and the bass, and I grew up around music. My sisters and I, we write a lot of our own music, and so I've just been, surrounded by music my whole life, and I love it. And now I've been married to Rafael for 2 years, so I've been having fun playing bass with him and his blues band and rockabilly music. And I play guitar first, and I'm into country guitar, Telecaster, bluegrass, acoustic guitar, flat picking, and classical guitar, which I really got into at Tyler Junior College, where I met Rafael. And I teach bass, upright bass, electric bass, a little bit of beginner piano, just a little bit, just to get very young kids started, really. I'm having fun playing ukulele too right now, so I do a little bit of that too. Rafael and I both try to get kids playing with other kids, playing with us, because that's how I learned how to play. I was surrounded by really good musicians who were older than me, my mom and dad and my sisters. I learned through experience playing in front of an audience. There's all kinds of skills that you don't learn unless you get out and play and share your music. So that's kind of our whole mantra here, is to get kids comfortable playing their music in front of other people and with other people. And not just kids, students of all ages, people who love music and life gets busy and they never had a chance to really pursue it until now, and they're a little older. And so we try to just kind of make a really friendly, warm atmosphere here for people to play together, really. We enjoy it. It keeps us around music every day, and it allows us to, perform ourselves here and elsewhere, because we're kind of setting our own hours. So it's really been good for Rafael and me. We love this place, and we love Mineola, and everybody here has been really sweet to us. So we've been here 2 years, so we're staying. I think that kids do best and progress when they get involved in something, and we try to, we don't have a very strict curriculum that we make everybody go through, although we do try to teach, basic good musicianship to every student, but we really personalize it to the individual student. The kind of music that they like, we encourage them to get out there and listen to music and pick a song or a phrase or something that they just really want to learn. And so in some ways the student directs the curriculum, because I find a lot of kids come in and they kind of like the idea of playing an instrument, but it's not a decision they made by listening to music. It's just something they like the way it looks, they want to be a rock star. And so I like to introduce them to music that they may have never heard, and really get them out there just listening to great musicians and music from all times in history, and just encourage them to find something that they can get excited about. And for me, that's bluegrass music and traditional American roots music, and the band and the Isaacs play gospel bluegrass music. That's it for me. For Rafael, it was rockabilly, 50s cats like Elvis and Scotty Moore and all that. And so if you come to a student recital here, it's just a big variety of music that our students play. A lot of 80s classic rock, and everything from like the Black Veil Brides to Taylor Swift to, sometimes we influence somebody to play an old song, an old blues standard or something. The variety is what's really cool, and I think that's because we really try to get every student to to listen to what they like and what they connect to. And I think if they like it, then they're going to go home and practice, and then they're going to want to share it with people. So that's what we've kind of discovered as we do this. I think one of my favorite parts of playing music is connecting with other people. I'm really into songwriting, and I've always been kind of a shy, quiet person. And songwriting has been my way to really share my thoughts and my feelings, and it's like an outlet for me where I feel comfortable, and it's been a great outlet for me to share my faith. As I grew up in a musical family, and my parents were great musicians, and when I started playing with my parents, there were a lot of people who acted like my parents were making me, join the band. I was like 10 years old or 11, and they would say things like, I don't know how you got your daughter to do this, and it really made me angry because I thought it was a privilege to play, and it wasn't. It was definitely something I had to work hard for. So I started writing songs to say, hey, this is my faith. I am my own person, and nobody can make you, share your thoughts. When you write a song, it's yours. So I've written a lot of songs that my family's recorded, just about my Christian faith and my relationship with the Lord, and now that I'm older and I've had some more experiences, I just write about whatever I'm going through, and it always comes through my Christian worldview. But to me, that's the freedom that I get out of playing music is making a song, and when it connects with somebody else, that's really just rewarding to me personally. And teaching is rewarding because I've been blessed to have lots of people encourage me and support me, and I feel like I need to give back. There are a lot of people who have to fight very hard to learn musical things, and I was, just planted into this I'm a third generation musician, so I've had people bless me by making it easy for me, and so that's what I try to do, is just make it as easy as possible to learn an instrument, because I know it's really hard and it takes time, and it's something that in the long run you end up teaching yourself most of the time, but you really can't do it by yourself if nobody's encouraging you, playing with you, helping you push through the discipline of trying to learn how to play an instrument. So I get to know my students, and they can't stay forever, and so I get attached to them, and then they have to go, which is just the way it is. But I really like just getting to know them and talking to them every week at their weekly lesson, and it's a really nice way to make a living. So I love that part about teaching. So I was raised in church from the time I was 10, and I just fell in love with who Jesus is and the stories, and I came at it from a little kid's perspective. I fell in love with the character of Jesus, and then when I got to be a teenager, I think because my parents were converts to Christianity, I really began to question whether I was believing for my parents or for me, and so I started really. I had a lot of questions about the Christian faith, and my parents encouraged me to ask those questions because we need to believe with our whole heart and soul and mind in order to connect with people and talk about it. And as I was brave enough to ask the questions and to really study my faith and great theologians and apologetics, I began to, it became my own faith, and there's no shadow of a doubt in my mind now. And I remember the day in high school when I had been really searching and really questioning, and I remember that God kind of brought to my mind the verse where he says, if you're in my hand, you know, nobody can snatch you out of my hand. I began to realize that what grace is, and that, you know, it's not earned. And it's a really simple concept, but when you finally get it, it's really life-changing. You put your life in Jesus' hand, and he's responsible for you, and he's gonna bring you through it. So that was, I think, the moment when everything finally clicked for me, what grace is, and who Jesus is and who I am. And I was, I don't know, 15 or 16 years old, and so when it comes to faith, I like to encourage people who've been raised in church to really question their faith, not to be ashamed to ask questions, because the Christian faith is, there are great Christian thinkers and so many great books, and you can research the issues that people will throw at you to question the faith, and you can find the answers that you need. So what's new for the Rafael Espinoza Music Academy? We are really excited to offer classes. This is a new thing for us. This summer I taught a classical guitar class for some of my students, and they really enjoyed it. We went and we played at the nursing home, and they loved it, and it was great. And so we are in the process of putting together and getting the word out about our ukulele class, which is for a specific age group that we haven't taught before. All kids under 8, we have not taught private lessons to, because we feel like they're not really ready for private lessons for that setting until they're 8 years old. So we think a class would be fun for 5 to 7, and ukulele is a really good way to get into stringed instruments. You know, you've got 1 finger and 2 finger chords, and it's just kind of a fun instrument that's kind of kid-friendly and easy to hold. And so that class, we're just trying to get the word out, and when we get enough people interested, we're going to start that. And I have, you know, debated doing a mommy and me music class if I can get enough little ones interested, and their mommy or daddy too, because I gotta have backup if I'm going to do a mommy and me music class. But we're trying to get the word out about that, because we've got a lot of room here in our academy to host classes, and we still want to continue to bring great artists in, master classes, workshops, concerts. We love live music, and we love having frequent live music shows, and we think it's good for our students to be able to come hear live music right here in Mineola. And there's lots of you know, local places. There's more of a live music scene happening now in East Texas, and that we think that's great. And we really like doing family-friendly shows here that you can bring all the kids to, and grandma, like Rafael likes to say, everybody. And I think we're just gonna keep building our little community of students and trying to give them lots of opportunities to play. And we just really love this area, and we want to keep adding some more musical flavor here. So that's kind of what we're looking to do in the future. I'm Emmylou Espinoza, and I'm your neighbor.